Hi there. I am Bridget Lynn Dogoff, and my spirit name is Bridget. She walks among stars, and I have been involved in, radio and TV locally and internationally, and just have been really wanting to work with community and like-minded people. This is my first YouTube video, so I'm a little bit nervous. And so it's taken me a while to kind of learn technology, so I'm in the process of learning how to do my own YouTube videos to maybe get the information out. It's been 3 years since I started really coming out of the closet about a lot of the shamanism work that I do publicly. Up until 2004, I had a private practice where I did energetic and structural medicine, and I kind of hid out in the closet in my practice. Got out of practice, kind of ran around the world, actually the U.S., working on projects. Ended up getting on a lot of different non-profit. Sorry about my spot. And worked on a lot of environment stuff, working with First Nation people of all tribes. And the 15 years working on building sustainable kind of farming projects, learning more about soil and soil and earth medicine, which has led me to return back to more ceremonial practices. I've been doing private sessions by Skype video call now for about 2 years. And if you're interested in having a private session, please contact me. And I will be putting links in the information area of each video. My work basically is with healing the earth and all living beings on the earth, and whatever medicine form that takes. So today, really wanted to talk to you about a couple different things, and I may have to look at my notes, so I apologize for that. But I want to make sure that everything that all the information that was brought to me this morning that I ended up writing down and taking time to do this gets down. Today we're going to actually do a transmissional healing. Transmissional healing for me is the information stream. I don't channel. I'm personally not involved in channeling. In the past, I studied with a Lakota Sioux medicine woman, and we spent a lot of time removing beings who, little tent, removing beings that people were channeling. So I go to the stream. People like Black Elk spoke about this. My dog is busy. She's trying to help out. She likes to be the star. Also, she's a fire medicine woman dog. She's pretty powerful, and does a lot of transformational work for me and everyone else that she comes in contact with. So transmission or healing work for me is I get information from a stream of information. Some of the Indian tribes that I've been around call it the great computer in the sky, the creator, and it's where all the information of past, present, and future is, and everything else, the dimensions, anything that you could possibly want to tap into, all that information is there. So this morning when I start doing work and I start thinking about doing these videos, they wanted to talk about some thoughts that are going on. So we're talking about, I'm doing this transmission specific for the collective consciousness and what's being held in the collective consciousness. And so today that is going to transmute into, my life is over, this life is over. A lot of people are having economic problems. job-related issues, whatever kind of issues that makes them come to some kind of statement in their mind that their life is over. There was also another statement that I thought was pretty darn interesting. Let's see if I can find it. My way of life is over. Well, let's talk about that for a minute. Your way of life to be here happened when your spirit attached onto this vehicle, the body. So your way of life is a past thing. It's already happened. Your way of life, your direction of life was here and now in this body. So let's get away from that whole way of life. My way of life is over. It can't be unless you die. So we need to create a different statement. And sometimes one thing I found by the stream is information that comes through. When we have a limited vocabulary, English is a very limited vocabulary, something that I have to work through and work in. Sometimes I just do not have the vocabulary to put together. We have kind of bad statements that play in our head that keep us stuck in a constant loop. So my way of life is over. It already happened when you came here, when you got a body and came out the birth canal and said, "Oh, hey world, I'm here." So your way of life happened already. And the other thing too is other people are dreaming this reality. And in shamanism, we look to the dreaming world because it's really no different than this world, right? It could be your sleeping world. It could be a world that you can travel into while you're awake. And so someone else is creating this dream, and you're participating in it. And they've conjured all the programming and everything that goes into it in order for you to believe this dream. So anything that's happening to you, my way of life is over. It was never your way of life anyway, and it wasn't your life. It was something that you were incarnated, I guess, into and readily accepted. Somewhere down the road you went to sleep and lost your power. And so a lot of these things I want to talk to people about in future videos. So hopefully, I want to try to keep them simple so they're not going on like hours and hours. And I want to get to the important things. In this particular video, we're going to be doing transformational healing work, and we're going to do a mini private practice. I want to help people. I want to bring in private practices that people can do in seconds to actually change their energy and their energy placement on the earth. And a lot of people don't understand that whole antenna. I'm an antenna on the planet receiving. Maybe you are everything. So maybe there's nothing that you need to receive or change. Maybe you just need to get your act in the present moment and activate your presenceness, which is, it's already in you. So the practice we're going to do is, I call like a tree practice. And you can do this standing up, or I'm going to do it sitting down so I'm not all over the video. Try to make it not super blurry, hopefully. And the key is like the trunk of the tree is very solid. It does not move, right? And the upper part of the tree moves in wind and is blown around and is flexible. Also, in farming and agriculture, all of the respiratory part of the tree is the root system that's underground. So from our waist up would be the root system of the tree, which would be underground, right? So we're kind of the opposite if we're looking at a tree. So we want our roots to go all the way into the earth. And whatever you imagine there that you can wrap your roots around from the strength of your trunk, that you're holding your space. And you can do this wherever you're at. A grocery store, your yard, you get up out of bed in the morning, wherever you feel like you need to become present and you need to get into balance. This is a practice that you can do. You can do this daily. to become like tree, a greater understanding using the tree medicine. And this other thing too, instead of an antenna that we're like some kind of antenna or receiver, I mean, that's all good, but I want to be the acupuncture needle. I want to be the energy. I want to be holistic, a whole being without need or desire, standing on the earth as an acupuncture needle. So wherever I'm standing, I'm activating some kind of meridian on the earth body, thus healing her lines, her energy line across her body. Because she's been cut, mining has surgically removed part of her physical body, trees that are acupuncture needles in her transmit information. All parts of them transmit information. Torn down, cut down. And our bodies resemble her body. So when we have cancer, this is what my First Nation medicine teacher tells me, when we have cancer in our body, somewhere on the earth there's a cancer on the earth body. And when we heal in a right and good way, our cancer, even our mental cancer, to start off with, then the earth heals that cancer or that mental cancer within herself and her energy field. So we're just going to kind of do like a practice just to kind of like loosen ourselves up. So we're like the top of the tree. The key is getting those feet planted in the lower part of your body. Right now I'm sitting, so those of you that have lots of back problems or physical problems, you can even have your branches like a little bit lower. Move them around, and then imagine like wind blowing at you. I know it sounds crazy, but the wind's blowing me this way on the top, but the bottom part's strong. Bottom part's strong. I'm strong. So wherever you're standing at the moment where you kind of do this, blowing that energy away, opening your energy up, getting in the present moment, and then just pull that energy down into your body, right? It doesn't have to go all the way down to your feet. Just pull that energy into your body. Taking some deep breaths and get in the present moment. And just really feel like all that connection with above, below, in. It's a very important feeling. And you may feel a little dorky, kind of doing a little bit of a tree practice. But, it's just seconds. Seconds can make all the difference in the world. You're impacted by some emotional information or mental information that you just kind of makes you go into shock or makes you afraid. You know what? You can sit, you can stand, and you can just, what does tree do? Some trees have been around like 3,000 years. They had to blow off the stress. How much probably unbelievable crap they've seen, and that is in their memory, but yet they still thrive. They still thrive, and they're still connected, and they're still solid. So be an acupuncture needle, be a tree, and also help that energy wherever you're at. Whenever you balance yourself out, you bring yourself into balance, you are going to have that spot on the earth. So do it for yourself, do it for the earth, and do it for the collective. And, bring yourself into balance. So we're going to talk a little bit about balance. We get into this thinking that balance is like a seesaw. It either is or it's not. We work more into the Red Road or First Nation teachings, shamanism. We have to deal with multiple points, which means that we have to be in the center of our wheel. So we may be dealing with a 4-directional issue, a 4-point issue, right? So there's 4 points. It might be 8 points, 16 points, all the way around, and we're trying to balance those. So it isn't an up and down thing. It isn't a seesaw thing. It may be like imagining like you're standing on a CD, like a disc, a DVD disc, and you're in the center of it. And it's held by strings. In each direction, if you're working with 8 directions, you got 8 strings holding it. Well, say something mentally disrupts you, and the part of your wheel or your disc you lean towards to try to grab it, or you feel like you're losing something in the physical world and you lean towards that area of your disc and you're trying to pull the stuff back on. Well, you're going to create an imbalance in your disc, and not only are your thing's going to be sliding off in other areas too. The whole thing's coming down, sliding off like a mountain because it's not flat and you're not in the center of your universe in your wheel. So when you go to grab and reach out, you stand out of your power, your disc starts to lean and you become imbalanced. So to get in balance may be a bigger thought and a bigger idea than just two sides, black or white, right? Balance requires that you stand in the center of your disc that's barely being held there by the universe, the strings of the universe. And anything can make things slide off, cause imbalance, and then you lose it all. Everything falls apart because you stepped off, created the imbalance, the lean, and then the thing started to fall off. Instead of going, nope, I'm not going to step anywhere. I'm going to stand in my power like tree. I'm going to stand in my spot, and I'm not going to imbalance my disc or my wheel. Or I notice there's an imbalance. Sometimes you can feel it in your energy. Sometimes you'd be like, wow, my left wrist or my right wrist is, like, ooh, it's just really aching. Well, you may want to consider that the right wrist deals with the left brain. So something in the physical world, mental world, is off. So that's a pretty good indication that you've got a lean. Pain, mental trauma, injury. Sometimes an injury that happens to your head or can have long-lasting effects in tilting your wheel in the physical world part, or the physical body and your physical body health. So you want to just see how you feel. If you feel like you're physically off balance all the time, you trip and fall. You see children who trip and fall, they just can't stand up. They're not klutzes. They have an imbalance that's going on in their whole structure in their wheel. I'm sorry, I got a fly trying to help me. It's not helping me. Okay, so we did our practice, the tree, mess around with the wind, or just mess around with just standing and see what that feels like. And so we're just going to kind of do some breathing and a little swaying to kind of help. I have a lot of tension today in my shoulders. I'm working on letting go of some big things. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work kind of on a vibrational level. And this is my drum. And she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, let me see how many. She should have 8 sides. She does. I'm going to give her some love. And I waited 10 years to get a drum. I really needed to understand what I was going to use it for. And I'm terrible at language, and trying to pick up First Nation songs didn't really work that well for me, and I felt bad. I felt like I was turning their songs into like a curse or something bad just because I couldn't get them right. And then I had a teacher teach me not just to make up my own songs, but to use my drum for healing, for energy healing. And so I got an 8-sided drum for that. And she also has 16 points. So not only does she resonate at an 8, but she also has 16 points that need to be balanced, right? Have been balanced for her to be this beautiful drum. This drum was made by the Taos people in New Mexico, Taos Pueblo people. This one is a cowhide. It's beautiful. And I've been slowly working with it since I got it in March, and I'm going to be working with it a little bit more. And also I may use my rattle. I have a rattle that is a kelp bulb, and I name him Igor. So, because he's kind of funky and like me, out of sorts and abnormal. So what we're gonna do right now is I'm just gonna feel the energy. I'm just gonna feel the energy and feel what's going on. So I'm gonna pick up frequencies that are going on. And I'm gonna work on kind of unifying them around me, on the planet, with the earth. I'm gonna work on unifying these energies. See that they're kind of all over the map. So I'm gonna align myself. What I'm doing is I'm aligning myself to the everything and the no thing, and mostly to the earth and her energy, her frequency. Sweating. Woo. Okay. Simple. Spiritual practice should be simple. Shouldn't have to, like, have too much stuff going on, in your mind about how things should be done. Just do them. Just try it. Just try. That's all you gotta do. That's all Spirit wants. Okay, so now we're gonna work on submitting a transmission. This is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna be connecting into and generating power. And I'm going to be transmitting that power through my brain, through my torus field, and out. And you can accept this healing or not accept it. It's entirely up to you. But I am gifting it for free because it's a very important time period where we really, like I said, I've tried to network, I've tried to work with people, I've tried to set up in areas to do a lot of this healing. And now I'm mostly just doing it on Skype video call. But these healing sessions are going to be free every time that I do one and I activate one. So this one is going to be around letting go of the ideas of what your life is, what you've been trained to believe that your life is. Also, let's add in a little transmission to let go of our life as it appears outside of ourselves, so that we can't lose our life. We lose our car, and my life is falling apart, lost my job. Those are not you, and those do not help you to identify who and what you are. And I'm not going to get into whole spirit and destiny stuff, fate, I just don't really believe that. I think that there could be a potential for a programming. If people are running that programming, I'll see it in the stream. But you can change any kind of programming. You can change any ideas about who you are at any time. And be as far-fetched as possible. Just go really far out of your comfort zone of what you are going to conceptualize as normal, or other people conceptualize as normal. And have fun. Because life is pretty hard, and it's a pretty big struggle, and what we're facing, it seems like pretty scary times. But the First Nation people, the medicine people that I work with and I study with, tell me we can either take our ship to a really bad, destructive place, or we can take our Earth ship to places it hasn't been yet, and that maybe we can't even conceptualize what that looks like yet. So, plant seeds. be that acupuncture point wherever you're at. Come into the present moment. Align yourself with what is real, not what you can buy, what's made, what's manufactured. Let's get away from that. So the transmission is going to be helping us to heal any trauma in our past and past this place, and also into the future, our future selves, our future identities, future lives, if you want to call them that, to break through identity, as our identity has been built by things outside of us, instead of our identity being built by what is inside of us. And so if you're struggling right now with what you're going to do, well, you need this healing because you need a whole new thought about what information you can bring in, because otherwise you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again because you're in the same thinking, the same being, the same identity, and that is not going to change your surroundings. They're probably just going to get worse because you'll just get in more and more fear, more and more struggle, instead of giving yourself an opportunity to have a new idea and thought about who you really are, your potential and possibilities. Okay, so with that said, I'm just going to kind of go in and I'm going to connect with that energy to offer this healing to you. And all you have to do is be present for it and breathe in. And you know what? It's just a transmission of energy. It's not bad. It's not good. But it's just something that I can transmit by you seeing me. Gurus have been doing this for a long time. People take pictures of them. That's why when you go to like ashrams and stuff, you have gurus. You have paintings of these gurus that have passed on, because when they were painted or photographed in these states of consciousness, as you become more conscious, you can look at these pictures and get a transmission that helps to elevate you to a different level, a different vibrational being, so you can have a new thought about who and what you really are. So I'm not trying to be your God. I'm not trying to be anything other than offering you a transmission of change, that you no longer identify yourself with everything that's outside of yourself, but you identify yourself with who and what you are on the inside, starting with maybe your heart. So I'm going to go ahead and activate this transmission. You can accept it or not accept it. I've just been asked to help you this. And I do not channel. I'm not a channeler. I'm a shaman. I do shamanic work. So that is what I'm offering you. So I'm just going to connect in, and then I'm just going to give it a couple second transmission. And so I'm probably going to be quiet. And then we'll move into closing this session down. And I'm sorry it's so long. Hopefully in the future it'll be really rapid, but sometimes there's a lot to talk about. Okay. I call in a band of angels to surround me with their blue flaming swords pointed inward. I call on a band of angels to surround that band of angels, the inner band of angels, with their blue flaming swords pointed outward. I call on the Creator. I ask that the Creator help me to create this transmission in a good way. I ask that this transmission be received and given in a good way today. I ask that anyone that sees this video who wants change, who wants to receive this transmission, that it be readily available for them in that moment, in a good way. And I ask that this bring good change, the right change needed for each individual in the collective, for the Earth Mother, for us all collectively, in a good way. I ask that this transmission be given with balance and perfect alignment. And so it is now. Some people might feel this in their body, different parts of your body, wherever you have blocked energy, fear, economic fear, terminal illness fear, whatever makes you feel like your life is over, any kind of mention of that in your mind. I'm going to go ahead and clear that. Right now I'm going to offer some energy. I'm going to generate some power right now, and I'm going to transmit it through this video so that you can receive it on the other side. And this is just a little bit of an energy jump, because a lot of people's batteries are super, super low. Some days you just don't even have the energy to be able to deal with getting out of bed. So let's see if we can give you a little bit of an energy charge. And I'm transmitting it into this area, which are the K27. This is kind of our megahertz, kind of where our battery points are, I guess you'd say. So I'm targeting all this energy, and I'm asking that it come from the screen. And we're pulling from 4 different universes, or galaxies is what they want to say. 4 different suns. So we're going to pull that from those areas so we can bring it into your battery area. Go ahead and take in some deep breaths. Okay. Okay. Whew. Let me get back kind of in myself here in my body. And I'm going to go ahead and close. If people have any information or questions, I don't always find myself on Facebook, but I will leave 2 links. I have my ministry and the Snake Clan. The Snake Clan is the official, my clan that I founded, the Snake Clan, is the official clan now of the Free Cherokee. So we're pretty excited about that. So I'll leave a link for the ministry page in case you want to have a private session. So this is something that may benefit you or help you. And I do charge for those. Like I said, I'm trying to do free work on YouTube to help people. So tune in periodically and try to find some of these transmissions. In the future, I'm sure that Spirit's going to want me to do fibromyalgia transmissions, just different transmissions to help. And this is not, if you need to go to a doctor, go to a doctor. This is not to put in the place of a doctor. And sometimes we need doctors, and sometimes we don't. So it just depends on where we're at. So don't replace this type of healing or other kinds of healing if you need a doctor. Sometimes getting a proper diagnosis is really important in order to find the people that can help you with what is going on with you. Some people are better at certain kinds of diseases in the healing field than others. So also, So anything you need, my blog that I write for Consciousness Economics, I'll be posting that link on there. Also, information about the Snake Clan, just kind of a small bio about myself. Also will be on a link. And in the future, anything that's in a discussion we'll place on the link. And we hope to have farming, all kinds of different things, and then transmissions periodically put in there. But thank you so much for allowing me to come into your space, and I'm going to leave you with a prayer. May your life be your own. May you become who you are. May all of us together become who we are and embrace who we are in each other. And so it is. And hey, a hawk just landed in the tree. A hawk just landed in the tree outside, and it's talking to me. So anyway, hawk medicine be with you. Light and love, and hang in there. But we got to change together, okay? So hang in there. No matter what you're going through, I could list millions of things that I'm going through, but this is what I'm choosing to do instead of embracing the fear. I want to be part of conjuring the future. I want to be part of, not manifesting, but conjuring our future into a place that, we may not have ever visualized before. But maybe we can feel our way through our heart of what we want it to feel like. Peace, love, community, whatever it is for you. Hold that feeling. Try to hold that feeling for several times a day. And give that feeling to someone else. Support each other. You might find a lot of support for whatever you're going through. Anyway, love and light, blessings, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.